Hello guys, welcome to our channel once again. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button down below to subscribe, like and comment on our videos. And also make sure you join our membership, guys. It's very much appreciated if you go ahead and join our membership. So today we're going to be talking about Detroit season 1, episode 9. What do you think about the episode in general? Because I felt like it was giving me the vibe of filler episode.
Yeah, it was a little different. I was just really interested to see what Marsau was going to bring to the table for the little gentleman's movement. I was just really curious to see how that was going to go. Overall, it was basically the same kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, let's just go ahead to let's just dabble into the episode.
Okay.
Firstly, I don't know the beef that is going on between these two. I don't understand. I don't know where Brandon and his wife is seeing the beef from, but I'm not seeing anything. And the way Brandon was like, "Oh, do I feel like there's a target on my back?" How? I still didn't understand how the target was on his back. I didn't get what target he was talking about. Someone just told you, I want to bring I want to bring somebody into this showcase, and you are now like, oh, I you are jealous about me, the person like I didn't just I don't know, I'm short of word because I was surprised the way he kept on hinting about the fact that they are coming for him. And the way Christine was like egging him on was like, yeah, you are not wrong for feeling that way for someone that she knows this guy. And even
Right.
when he said I feel like probably it's jealousy because of the guy, and apparently the guy is better than him, known than him in Detroit, um a bigger name than him. I feel it's jealousy. You got the girl, but the guy is still better than you. That's how I felt. That's why he's pissed off about this particular guy.
Yeah, I didn't really see the jealousy or the envy that they were talking about. It seems like Anthony and LaToya, it seems like they're fine. They're cool with the way their situation is going, their life is going. And it doesn't seem like they're really holding animosity towards the two of them. So I, I think they're greater than what the whole little problem is. The whole little problem with Brandon, is Brandon feels that the guy that Anthony is bringing in, him and Kristina had a past, which Kristina was trying to explain that is, a business past, but he kind of like started liking her a little bit too much, and that's where she kind of put a cap on the friendship, you know. So I see a little jealousy there, on Brandon's part, but Brandon got his nerves to be jealous. Like, how many times has his wife been jealous? You know what I'm saying? And this, if somebody that she's been dealing with a long time ago, like, he's not in her life anymore like that. You know what I'm saying? She's not in the
Uh-huh.
studio singing. So what's the problem?
Exactly. So
What is the problem?
I, I do understand he should get jealous. Of course, if you're not jealous of your wife, who would be jealous of your wife for you? I understand he has the right to be jealous, right?
Right,
But
right,
where me I find an offense because there's a level to jealousy, right? If you're jealous
right,
for no just cause, it's a very useless jealousy. This guy, she has cut off the relationship with this guy for years. I mean, we're not talking about a 1 year thing. For years now. She hasn't
right,
talked to this guy for years, except she's lying, but according to her, she hasn't talked to this guy for years.
right.
So if she hasn't talked to this guy for years, she doesn't know this guy. She hasn't, they don't have contact. Everything has been cut off. Why should you get jealous if you would see the guy? I
Yeah,
feel Brandon just has this issue that he likes things going the way he wants, and when those things don't go the way he wants, he start making mountain out of molehills.
right. I think Brandon is just like overly jealous, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a lot to do with you know, he's guilty of not giving his wife the attention that she needs, and he's guilty of giving his attention elsewhere. So when some shadow from her ex life
Mm-hmm.
steps into the picture, that I think that's just all his guilt of all the crap he's done. It's kind of
Yeah,
almost like karma. It's almost like
exactly.
karma. So yeah, wear that jealousy well then, because karma's a bee and she gonna get vengeance.
I probably see, and I feel like you said, probably he does it on a regular, and it feels like okay, his wife could also be prone to that because men that always cheat, they are prone to always think that their woman too will always cheat like them. So I also feel like I just feel like he's making an issue where there is not supposed to be an issue between him and um Brandon. And the way LaToya is like, the way Kristen was like, I sat down close to LaToya, blah. I was like, okay. I was even surprised that during the dinner party, they they didn't try to bring up any issue.
No, I noticed that they were pretty calm on that little
I
dinner.
was I was literally praying. I was like, Bran, the way they were talking in their bedroom, I thought they were gonna bring the rain, as in fire, everything. I was like, no, don't make this mistake. So I was literally happy that they didn't do that. And I was also happy that the ladies were able to like come together in that little bonfire and be like, you know what? Let's get this thing over with. Let's forget about whatever pettiness, let's start afresh, you know
Right, that
but
which
I'm
is
sure that
mature.
it didn't come the way Christine was saying it. It didn't seem sincere. I would just have to watch further to see whether it came like she was sincere about it and deciding to move on from it.
Right, right. It seems like she was pretty sincere. Oh, you said Christina? No, well, no, no.
Yeah, I'm talking about Christine.
Christina, she's gonna always have her little pettiness because she has a petty husband. You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna find something to gripe about, you know, because she's going
Mm,
through it with everybody. And I think the reason why Brandon didn't bring anything up at the dinner is because Brandon didn't really want that smoke. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
He's already
yeah.
been in it with Russell. Already been in it with Anthony, you know, and then you have Bravo there, which is Anthony's friend, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he didn't want none of that smoke. He didn't, so he can say what he could say in his room, but he wasn't bringing that downstairs.
I also feel like Brandon is all talk when people are not there in presence of his wife, but when he comes faced with the people in particular, he's just like, mm. He doesn't he I don't know whether he's scared to express himself or fear. I just don't know. He talks a lot of things when he's not in their presence, but when he gets in their presence, oh yeah, guys, say these things right now. He doesn't say them.
Yeah, like that comment where he didn't really trust Anthony. Anthony's not a good friend. He's never going to say that in Anthony's face. He says stuff behind people's backs because I think Brandon, I don't know if he's ever really been in a true fight in his whole life. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to bring that up to another guy because he don't want to suffer the consequences, whatever the consequences may be. He's a pretty boy. Pretty boys don't like getting hit, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. And I feel like he just looks like a pretty boy. I need to get everything I want. I think that's the mentality he has because sometimes he be acting like that, that he needs to
Yeah,
get everything he wants because he just is fine.
yeah,
How was he?
based on his look.
I don't even find him that attractive. I'm sorry.
I don't either, and once he takes that ponytail down, it's a wrap for me. Because like I said, I would just cut it off. He needs to cut that off because
He's
no
a
grown
freak.
man needs to wear a
Oh.
ponytail in 2023. No man bun.
Mhm.
No man buns. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
And then you can't even comb
Oh.
your own hair your own self. You got your wife doing it every morning. Like, no.
He said it's a wrap for you. Wow. Oh my god. That's bad. Well, we're speaking more on Brandon. We got to meet his mom
Yeah.
in today's episode. Her name is Katie. And I just want you to give me, how did you feel about his mom, and what was said during this meeting on his birthday? She tried,
Well,
she baked him a cake. She, at least she had him in mind.
right. Well, as far as his mom goes, I'm pretty sure it was very difficult back in the day. Now, I'm assuming that Brandon had to been born in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the late 80s or something. And can you imagine being a Caucasian woman in a dominantly black neighborhood with mixed children? I'm pretty sure that was hard for her, you know? So, and then Caucasian culture is different from a black culture. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as him feeling like, well, she didn't tell me she loved me enough, or she didn't show it, you know, that was a different time, you know, and I don't know. Me personally, I tell my kids every time I see them, I love them. I'll call them and tell them, I'll
Mm,
text them and tell them, when I see them, I'll tell them, you know, because I want them to
mhm.
know that, but then you got some moms where, you know, they don't express what
Yeah,
they're really feeling. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So maybe his mom was one of those type of moms. And I feel like, at her age right now, like, why bring up all that disparity? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I wanted to, I didn't want to say something before I say something bad. I wanted to hear your own opinion about it because I know you have kids of, you know, that are grown. What me I
Yeah.
felt was as if he was trying to put, it takes two to tango.
Right.
I feel like he was trying to push all the blame on the mom
Mm-hmm.
and not even trying to give, like the way he was talking to the mom, not even trying to give the benefit of the doubt that, okay, mom, I know you've tried, I know it wasn't easy, but at least you got me to where I am today. He wasn't even giving the mom grace at all. That was where she's in his life. There are some people that their moms are not in their life, and it's not like their moms are dead, but alive, but they're not in their life. But you have your
Right.
mom that's in your life. For her to remember your birthday, bake you your favorite cake, that means she still has you in her thoughts.
Oh, yes.
She thinks about you. When I saw the birthday cake and he said she does it every year on his birthday and it is his favorite cake, that got me thinking, yes, she might not have been saying, I love you every time. Yes. But you should know that in one way she loves you, in one way she cares about you, because if she didn't care about you, if she didn't love you, she wouldn't be wasting her every time her time in to bake this cake for you, knowing that it's your favorite cake and baking it for you and showing you that, okay, your birthday, I want to appreciate you. And she wrote you, like, did you see the part where she gave him the letter, the
The
card,
birthday
and
card.
she wrote
Yeah.
she wrote I love you, and it was like, oh, it feels strange saying that. I was like, people do that.
Yeah.
We get card from people, from parents, from loved ones, and they write, I love you, or I care for you there. Would I be saying if I receive a card from someone tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, it's strange, yet saying it in the card. I want to hear you say it. It's the thought that matters. And that made me immediately said that I was like, no, he doesn't rate his mom. As much
Right.
as I would want to believe that okay, yes, there might be trauma from the when he was younger, but at least you are grown. You have your own kids. There are
Right.
some things that would change in your mindset when you have your kids. You have had your own kids, you have known how being a parent is. Your children are not perfect. Even you as the parent to your child, you are not perfect. You guys have to just come in the middle, compromise, do a lot of things to get, that healthy relationship. And the only long and short of this communication between him and his mom, I just felt like he was not trying. And I feel like he's doing this for TV to
Yeah.
get this special preference. I'm like, oh, we have somebody that is working through trauma. How I felt. It sounded like bullshit to me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, at her age, I'm pretty sure she, over the years, she showed him that she loved him. I mean, he said it was a tradition that he spends his birthday morning or afternoon with his mom, you know, and I just think that he is just trying to find something to uh, be relevant in his life. You know what I'm saying? Move on. You have your own children, you have your own career, you got a wife that you're still trying to make happy. You know what I'm saying? So don't be laying all that guilt on your mom. I mean, are you telling your kids you love them every day? Brandon, they're right there with you. Do they hear that from you? You know, so
Coming from the same person that gets upset and leaves the house for 2 whole days, not
yeah,
coming home. That's the
yes,
person that is trying to fault his mom. You're almost doing the same thing. So I expected a certain amount of grace.
exactly. I think he needs to definitely give his mom some grace because she's a parent. She did the best that she could at the time that she was raising him. I'm pretty sure. She looked like she always kind of had her stuff together, and you know she had looked like about 3 kids. So, and
Mhm.
then he said something about the mom and dad had divorced. But yet he kept a good relationship with his father. you know so yeah, keep it with your mom. She did the best that she could. Kids doesn't come with instruction guides. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I feel like it's a simple scenario of, oh, my mom and dad divorced. I picked the side.
Right.
I picked a side. I stuck with that side. And when you pick a side when it comes to this kind of issues, whatever the side you're on tells you, that's what you're going to believe.
Right.
That's what you're going to stick with. So I felt like right from time, he never gave the mom grace. And when they were talking about that part, when he was like, okay, we'll go back and talk about, I think that was like therapy section. We're going to go back and talk about that. But let's talk about this men's movement. And we had Marsau in the building. Marsau in the building. I was like, wow. In all embodiments, with the black on his body. Like, what the heck is he doing? Like, well, I don't know what's wrong with Carlos King, but he knows what's good for him. Because if I expected that there was anybody that was going to do a crossover to another city, it shouldn't be Masao. He literally doesn't have anything relevant to show for him to be.
Well, the guy Bravo mentioned that Marceau has black, he has wine,
Mm-hmm.
and he has his construction site. Now we found out that black, he doesn't own all of black. Um, The wine, we haven't heard nothing else from the wine. I haven't even seen it anywhere out here, where I live, so I don't know how well it's doing, and then the construction site, we still trying excuse me, we're still trying to figure out where the $22,000 are. Or was that 222,000?
When Bravo said that, I was like, "Oh, Bravo, don't say that. You are more accomplished than Marsau."
Yeah, and I just, when he got there, and I'm listening to him talk, excuse me, I'm listening to him talk and everything.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, well, is he adding action? And it was like, not really, and then once they got to the little movement, I didn't see where he really, I don't know, and maybe he did, maybe it's on the cut room floor, and they just show us what they wanted to show us. But from what they showed
Yeah.
us, it didn't seem like he added anything. He was just another person that was there out of the 22 that was there. Oh, excuse
But
me, it
he
was
did say
23.
something. He did say something.
Yeah, but it was enough
He
value.
but no, for the first time, I did see reasoning with what he said. At least he said, "You don't make a movement sitting on your toilet in your bedroom. You make a movement by being the movement." For the first time.
Well, I mean, I completely understand that, but that's uh sachet, it's like make sure your slip ain't showing, you know, tuck
Yeah.
your bra strap in. I mean, you're saying stuff that people already know, or they should already know. I'm saying he wasn't bringing like real substance, like, hey, look, I have a mentoring ship, where I can teach gentlemen how to go about business. I can show them accounting. I can show them the construction side. I can bring uh 10 guys in and place them at three different companies that I own, you know, and uh uh teach them, the way to go. He wasn't saying any of that. So I expected, I guess maybe I was expecting too much from him, but I mean, because they
Actually, I
called
guess
on
I
him.
was expecting too much from him.
Yeah, they called on him like he was a big leader, big strong leader, and he didn't really have nothing to really say. You
Oh
know,
my god.
so
But
I was expecting a little bit more. Like I said, maybe he did. Maybe it's on the cutting room floor, and we didn't get to see it or hear it.
yeah. Well, when I just feel like he was unnecessary, like you said, he was unnecessary. They would have done without him on the showcase. I just feel like Carlo just wanted to bring in another face from another Love of Marriage franchise into the new one before, because for me they were okay with the people they had already
Right.
to talk in the showcase. So he was just unnecessary. A big, or he was just there to collect a paycheck, Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe he was there to collect a
Exactly.
paycheck, because I won't put that past him that he was just there to collect a paycheck. We're talking about
Mhm.
this men's movement. At first, I was calling this men's movement like, what's this men's movement? But when Brandon was reading it, I kind of, since I kind of agree with them a little bit,
Yeah.
because it was not the thing I was thinking. That's why it's good to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Hmm.
It wasn't what we were all thinking it was going to be. It was more of trying to teach and empower these men to know to take action, to be out there, to stand up, to make movement, to you know be somebody that people will recognize, because the blacks are literally labeled in a certain way. Like, change that narrative about us. So I did like it. At the end of the day, I was surprised. I'm
Right.
shocked.
I mean, I love the idea of men's movement, because I believe in, once you learn, you should teach somebody else what you learned, or
Yeah.
show them how to do it. They could have been saying, hey, look, you're going to need to take business. class is 101, and we're going to show you how to do it. If we're not offering the class, maybe your neighborhood junior college is offering it, where you can do it online at your own pace. I mean, you know, give them the information in order to righteously help them. I like to see if this goes any further than just that one scene. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't understand the march, when they were marching down the
The
street.
match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
like,
I want to give them grace. I want to
yes,
give them grace that this is probably the first time and it's a little bit, it was scattered. They didn't really know because even the wife was telling him like this thing looked the same. It's not really there was not too much thought on it. So I'm gonna give them that grace that this is the first time. Probably in the future, if they want to organize this, there will be
right,
more, more things to see. I'm just gonna give them the grace because I did like the initiative. So I
right,
hope they will do it next time, but with better, packages in there.
right, exactly. I hope to see more of it because it is needed in
Yeah.
every community. You know what I'm saying? Every community, to let all these young Black men know that, hey, you can be an entrepreneur. You can have
Mm-hmm.
your own business. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to sell drugs and and whatever else that's going on out there. You can be better than that because you're meant to be better than that. But
That's what I did like it. But the one thing I didn't like was Brandon trying to shit on it. That was tacky of him, like trying to be like, oh, there were just how many men. This is the first time. First time things might not turn out the way you envisioned it. He wasn't even expecting people to show up. But at the end of the day, people showed up. But for him to try to be like, oh, there were no men, there was you were expecting something to be in a way. Did you try to make that thing be in that certain vision you had?
right. Like as you said, it is the first meeting that they had. So hopefully the next one they'll be a little bit more organized, and I understand weather, rain, because nobody really likes to travel in the rain. Right now,
Yeah,
we're in the
yeah,
middle.
they said it.
Yeah. Right now, out here where I am, we're in the middle of a tropical storm, Hillary. We're subject to flooding. So if you hear something going off, uh, like a warning here, that's what it is. Because we're in the middle of this tropical storm where they're saying we're going to get a tornado and hurricane and all this stuff. So, the rain keeps people away, it keeps them inside where they're safe. So, oh, and then another thing I wanted to point out, when Anthony said, well, we kept changing the date and changing the
Yeah,
time. Okay, you're making
yeah,
everybody confused because it doesn't seem like you're really
yes.
organized. And if I would have kept being invited and you keep changing stuff,
Numerous time, I will get tired.
yeah, I've been like, what, they don't have it together. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully they'll get better at that.
That's the thing I also said that I'm giving them the grace because there were a lot of, they were not really organized. I think it's just something that he decided to rush and he now saw that it was bigger than him. But I feel like the next time that is going to occur is going to be better. But for Brandon to be trying to shit on it, I'm not gonna stand for that. That was a wrong move. And I feel like I don't know, is he jealous of people that are successful than him or look successful than him?
Yeah, Brandon, he just seems like he's just really, really petty. Like he just wants something to complain about. Brandon, I don't see you making any type of boss moves. I don't even know if the whole showcase was his idea from what Anthony is saying, you know.
Hmm?
So it's
It was
like,
a group idea.
yeah, so like it just seems like he is just really jealous. And right now he has thing for anything that Anthony touches, he's gonna talk about it, you know, because
Yeah.
he's still upset with Anthony, you know.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's go back to Brandon and his mom and the seeing the therapist thing. I felt like he didn't really want to go see a therapist. Like I said earlier on, that he's just doing this for show,
Right.
for this show. I feel like he's just here for this show. He didn't really want to go see a therapist, and he's just here for the show. And
Hmm.
when they met the therapist, there were some things that was like, okay, him saying that he chose his side and he chose his father. And the mom was trying to explain to him why I kept on saying that he didn't have grace for the mom. The mom was trying to explain to me him at that, the olden days, a white mom with black kids trying to raise them in a black community, a fully black community, that it was hard on her herself. And she
Right.
didn't, and I don't think at that time she had somebody by her side.
Yeah, she didn't have that support system.
Yeah, there was no support system for her. So I believe that she coped, she had her own coping mechanism. It might not have been the great coping mechanism, you
Right.
get, but she had
Hmm.
to cope in a way. She had to survive in a
Right.
way. And for you to come up here and not look at the fact, and when the mom explained it, he was now like crying. I didn't even see a teardrop. He was just like, please stop with this crocodile tears. Just because now you've seen that your mom was trying to tell you all this, why that it's not like I want to be this way. I too, as much as you're saying you have been through trauma, I too had my own trauma that I'm
Right.
trying to deal with. And
Hmm.
when she also talked about the fact that when he was a little kid, when he was trying to like, what's going on with you, how was your day, and he would just give her total silence. It's not easy for a mom to always want to interact with her child and the child just gives her total silence. It's not an easy thing. And I know back then in the day in the black community, we didn't really believe in therapy, going to see a therapist, going to see a show worker. I don't think at that time we believed in those things. So I just said it that this lady tried to make things work in the best of her capability. It might not have worked out for the best, but she tried.
Right. Right. He was just probably not really willing to open up simply because he was probably having a bad day at school or maybe with the kids in the neighborhood, and I've raised a boy before, and it's it's hard raising boys, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't like nobody telling them what to do. Because you start off calling your kid little man, hey little man, and then they grow up and they become a little older towards puberty, they change up on you. They don't want you to tell them that it's time to clean up, it's time to wash your clothes. They don't want to hear it. They're defiant. And especially if you're a mother and the father is not around.
The
Boys
picture.
really don't want to hear it because they feel like they're the king of your castle, So
Mm-hmm.
they're not trying to hear it, and they're not gonna sit back and pour out their heart to you and tell you exactly really what's going on. He needed his dad at that time. Maybe she should have, said, hey, I'm gonna have your dad stop by so you and your dad could spend some time together. Then, and then let the dad know, hey, something's bothering him. Maybe you can find out what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, boys are hard to deal with. They are. They really are. So, and it looked like he had another brother or two other brothers. So I can imagine what his mother was going through. trying to work, trying to keep the house clean, trying to cook, and then trying to control boys. That's hard work.
Yeah, that's hard work.
And then
That's
Brandon
really
being,
hard
yeah,
work.
and then Brandon being the oldest, I'm pretty sure a lot of responsibilities were put on him. Like, hey, watch your little brothers. I got to go do this, or help your little brothers out so I can make sure I got this done. And it just seems like he didn't like authority. He doesn't like authority.
Yeah. Yes. That's how it seems.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it seems, and he's not here for it. I literally want to see how it's gonna go because I guess next week episode we're gonna get of um more of what is gonna happen during the therapy. Like I said, this week's episode was just like for me more of fillers.
Yeah.
I'm
And
serious.
and you gotta take into the fact that his mom said, I'll do this therapy, but I'm not gonna be doing too many of them. It's like she doesn't feel like she needs the therapy. It's Brandon who more than likely needs the therapy, because it's
And I
things
feel
that
like
he's
he's
not
going to
willing to let
therapy
go of.
because his wife is pushing him and he wants to avoid, too much shouts, too much argument with his wife. I see when somebody wants to go to therapy, you will see as in yeah, I made that decision by myself. I want to be in therapy. You will see the difference, the genuineness from that person. It will show. Well,
Mhm.
it's not showing in his like I'm not seeing the eagerness like, yeah, I wanted this. This is what I wanted. I'm not saying that.
Right. Well, we'll just see if Brandon keeps doing the work, even if his mom does stop. We'll see if he keeps doing the work, you know, because, maybe there's some things he needs to discover about himself and figure out why is he the way he is at times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
yeah.
just I let's see how it's gonna let's see how that's gonna play out, guys. Well, guys, thanks for joining us today. I'm sorry that I'm not able to talk for so long. I didn't even want to come on this live. I was like dragging myself because this late this okay earlier on today, like 2 hours ago or an hour ago, I lost somebody very close to me.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry.
so I
My
was like,
condolences.
thank you. So I'm not really like
Okay.
having that eagerness to talk a lot. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to click on the subscription button down below to subscribe, like and comment, like on our videos. The more you like, the more YouTube recommends our video. And please, guys, join our membership for the support. click,
Most definitely.
click and join the membership. It's going to be appreciated. Well, you see you guys tomorrow, right?
Right.
Tomorrow for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm sorry. Okay. Goodbye, guys.
All right. Have a good one. Bye bye.